You are really missing out if you're not meditating at work. Now, you may already be a meditator or you may not be. Either way, check out my other videos on why everyone should be meditating as part of their daily routine. But perhaps you have a very busy schedule and you don't find it easy to sit down and close your eyes for 15 minutes every morning or evening or any other time. Now, I had the same problem for many years. In fact, I used to work on a boat and space was very restricted. For about 10 years, I'd use my 15-minute tea break to go into the toilet and meditate. I'd sit cross-legged in front of the toilet and the toilet bowl was about 10 inches from my face. That's because it was a tiny little shower room. I basically did this until I realized I didn't have to. I learned to meditate throughout the day while I was doing other things at work. This type of meditation is called task-orientated meditation. We meditate while we're performing a task, and it can be any task. So to explain this, let's first talk about the basics of meditation. Meditation is training the focus of awareness in the mind. It's basically focusing on one thing and keeping your focus on it. You can focus on anything you like. We call this subject-object meditation. You are the subject and you are focusing on something, an object of meditation. So you can focus on your senses, for example. You can focus on your emotions in the body. You can even focus on your thoughts. So try this little experiment. Squeeze your finger and thumb together very lightly. What do you feel there? Some pressure sensations probably. Right, focus on that sensation for about 5 seconds or so. Don't count the seconds, otherwise that's introducing thought. Just focus intently for a while as if nothing else exists in the world right now except for that feeling in between your finger and your thumb. So for those few seconds, you're performing kinesthetic meditation. That's it. It's easy. The difficulty lies in keeping the focus for a length of time. For example, during those few seconds, you probably didn't have many thoughts go through your mind because you're highly focused. But if I asked you to do it for 20 seconds or 30 seconds, it's likely that you would have random thoughts come in, or you might hear a sound and get distracted. Tell me in the comments if you had any thoughts while you were focusing just then. So the point of meditation is to train the mind to focus on what you want to focus on, without exception. Now the real goal comes later on because you're eventually able to focus on the objectless, silent inner peace of your own awareness. But that's for another video. So let's take an example of task-orientated meditation. A nice, easy go-to example is making a cup of tea or coffee, or any hot drink. There are so many sensory experiences involved, but we usually take this for granted. Every sensory experience is an opportunity to meditate. So, as you walk up to the kettle, look at the kettle intently. Focus as hard as you can on it. Shut out any thoughts. That's visual meditation. Then you choose to change the object of meditation. You pick up the kettle and you fill it up with water. Put your mind in your hands while you do this. That's kinesthetic meditation. You're making this a fully conscious experience. Don't take your focus away from your hand until you decide to change the object. So when the kettle is starting to boil, listen intently to the sound of it starting to boil. Kettles always make some sounds. That's auditory meditation. Focus so hard on the sounds that it's like you're straining to hear more and more sounds. Then you've got to pick up a mug and a tea bag. Change the object of meditation again back to the hands and feel the textures that are in your hands that you're touching. The harder you focus, the less thoughts you'll have and the less distracted you become. Then, as the kettle boils, focus on the steam that comes out of the top. That's a visual meditation again. Steam is very good to meditate on. Now go and try this and let me know in the comments how it went for you. If you practice this every time, eventually your mind will make a habit of it in itself. And then you have the benefit of meditating throughout the day. You can take this idea and transfer it to any task at work. In fact, any task during the day. You can even use your mind to think while performing a task. Because for many tasks, you need to use your thinking mind as well. So what you do is you make sure that it's a fully controlled process. Anytime you need to think, you switch on the thoughts and apply them to the task. As soon as you have your result, you switch off the thoughts by focusing back on the senses. If you have any spare minute at work, you can meditate. If you're waiting for a video call, you can engage in some visual meditation. If you're waiting for anything at all, you can bring your attention into your body and focus on the movements of your breathing or the kinesthetic feelings in your hands and feet. At any time you're focusing your mind, you're reducing the time where your mind is in a state of uncontrolled, repetitive, negative thought. That's where all the damage happens. So go ahead and focus. There are no excuses. So if you have any particular task or situation where you want some advice on how to bring meditation into it, then just let me know in the comments. And please consider subscribing or following for more of these tutorials. And please do share or repost so that we can reach more people. See you soon.